It's time to count your coins. With our next game update on June 20th, we'll be bringing a wave of new goodies to the Outpost stores. It's important for a pirate to choose the right footwear for their journey. And with the Gold Hoarder's boots, you'll be set on the path towards glittering adventures. And with your hard-earned gold, grab some incredible crustacean cosmetics with the Ocean Crawler, Azure Ocean Crawler and Deep Ocean Crawler Heavy Sword and Rapier. And to complement the look, you'll be able to get your claws on the Crustacean Courtly Jacket, the perfect outfit if you're in a pinch. Now, let's check in with Production Director Drew Stevens for news on exciting updates coming to the game.
Hey everyone, there's a suite of balancing changes coming to the seas, from combat to commendations. Let's get right into it. So last time, I shared that our ships were going under the magnifying glass, and their speeds were getting a balancing pass. Let's dig into what you should expect to see here. Unsurprisingly, as it stands today, the brig is the front runner in almost every scenario, regardless of wind, ship, or sail direction. It's time to readdress the balance. The approach that the team have taken is to ensure the emphasis is more on the crew's ship direction and sail management during a naval encounter. To boil it down simply, the number of sails catching the wind now more directly impacts the ship's speed. In a straight tailwind, the galleon with the most sails will now beat the brig, followed then by the sloop. Then in a straight headwind, it's flipped. The sloop gets less wind resistance from its single sail and is therefore fastest, followed by the brig and then the galleon. Sidewind and crosswind scenarios should also follow suit, where angling the sails to catch the maximum amount of wind should allow the galleon with its 3 sails to trump the other ships. However, mismanagement of those 3 big sails would allow the other ships to counter and take the advantage. Along with this suite of changes, the team have also fixed up sails in a headwind, so it's no longer beneficial to use flat sails. Instead, now angling the sails into a headwind will now reduce the resistance and grant that advantage you'd expect. We are conscious that this set of changes is going to bring buffs to the galleon and the sloop, knocking the brigantine off its top spot. We'll continue to monitor how this plays out in live, and assess potential balancing options in other areas to make sure the brigantine still has a home in the meta. All of these changes to ship speeds are going to be coming in our next update in June. Next up, weapon balancing. Strap yourselves in. With the introduction of 2 new weapons in Season 12, the team have been assessing how these fit into the meta alongside our existing weapons. It's probably unsurprising that the newly introduced weapons are struggling to pull their weight against the sheer power of some of our older weapon choices. The blunderbuss and sword continue to dominate the meta in both PvP and PvE encounters due to their stopping power and versatility. The double-barrel pistol has received some improvements over the last few updates, addressing some of the clunkiness and making it a more consistent experience. In June, we'll push this further, with a quicker charge speed and a more accurate hipfire. The damage of the standard and charge shot will also be increased, with the charge shot now dealing 90 out of 100 damage to a player. The team will let these changes play out in June, and then we'll assess what further balancing changes might be needed in future updates. And to top off the balancing changes, June's update will contain some changes to commendations that arrived in Season 12. A number of commendations have flipped from player only to crew shared, to avoid scenarios where difficult commendations are being fought over by the crew. A large number of commendations have also had their numbers reduced across the grades, making them a little easier to obtain. A few examples include killing sharks with the double-barrel pistol, transferring loot to your ship using the tightrope, and cashing in the Horn of Fair Winds. There are a few other changes, so check the patch notes next week for all the details. For any scenario where players have earned more than the new total, they won't unlock that commendation automatically, and will need to complete 1 more to refresh the commendation. And finally, I can't go a news video without acknowledging that some of our players are experiencing a much higher crash rate than we're happy with. We do have some crash fixes incoming in June's update, but there are still a few that are eluding our team. While crash dumps are collected and sent to us by most platforms automatically, please ensure that you click accept and send these onto the team for investigation. If you're also experiencing reproducible crashes when performing certain actions, please raise a ticket with our player support team.